Hallo und herzlich willkommen wieder zu einem Let's Play Final Fantasy Lightning Returns. Ich bin Ben.
Ich bin Patrick.
Und wir sind Bwizz. Und nein, wir singen jetzt nicht. Den Gefallen tun wir euch jetzt nicht. Noch nicht.
Gehen wir gleich Houston an, oder?
Ja, ich würde gerade sagen, wir gehen gleich mal nach Houston an.
Weil in Serien kann man sowieso jetzt nichts mehr machen.
Ja, können wir so, ist ab Mitternacht wieder. Ich habe 22 Uhr.
Ah ja, und ich muss jetzt in Houston aufpassen, dass ich maximal bis 18 Uhr bei den komischen...
Genau, bei dem komischen Typen am Hintereingang bin, genau. Okay.
Nein, nicht Hintereingang, sondern den komischen Orakel oder den Typ, der den Herrscher da.
Das war aber bis 12 Uhr mittags oder so.
Na, 18 Uhr.
Nee, 18 Uhr war der Typ hinten bei... für die Führung, dass du zu Snow kommst.
Na, andersrum.
Nein.
Oder beide.
Oder beide. Schauen wir nach.
Ja.
Falsch. 12 Uhr. Habe ich doch recht gehabt.
12 Uhr. Ich habe 18. Wieso habe ich denn 18 Uhr gelesen?
18 Uhr war das. War die Hauptmission. Uhr war die Hauptmission.
Mhm. Ja.
Ich hab's mir doch gemerkt.
Ja, doch recht. Oh. Ja.
Ja, ist sehr klar. Jetzt werden vermutlich die Kämpfe am Anfang wieder eintöniger.
Ja, weil wir sowieso stärker geworden sind, ja.
Ja, aber natürlich extrem stärker geworden sind durch den Kampf gegen No.
Mhm. Ja, wir haben noch nicht. Oh nein. Ich kann nicht so schön. Okay.
Tell me, are you the famous food expert?
Possibly. I do boast a certain renown in culinary circles. It cannot be.
Ah, Gordon Gourmet.
Ja, der braucht man nicht.
I see. See this restaurant, you say? I do hate to see a good restaurant go undiscovered by the dining public.
So, will you help him out? I can take you right there.
Oh no. CD's restaurant? I'm afraid you will have to find someone else. I'm sorry.
I can't persuade you?
Impossible. This city is overflowing with restaurants crying out for the deft helping hand of Gordon Gourmet. I'm run ragged trying to keep up. And, well, you see... Right, my rule. I have an ironclad policy. I cannot help an establishment unless the owner approaches me directly.
You just made that up, didn't you? All right, can you do this for me? Just
tu mir einen Gefallen mit
and I'll pass it along to the owner.
Du schreibst doch, ja,
You don't have to come to the restaurant at all.
That sounds reasonable. I mean,
Achso, ja, genau, aber tu mir, nicht du mir.
Deutsch ist auch nicht mehr so deins.
I give advice. I need to make sure that it is communicated accurately.
Na ja, von das Wort tun.
Ja, so ist es.
Lernen wir jetzt Deutsch, oder was?
Ja, klar.
Helps me out? I don't know the first thing about fine dining.
Oh, you don't have to be a top chef or even a garde-manger. All you need
Garde-manger.
is a discerning palate. Practically anyone can acquire one with a little training.
I'm not sure what you mean by a discerning palate, but I don't think I have one.
Ja, ein
Trust me
kritisches
when I
Schwert.
say it can be found. In fact, a tour of the best establishments of the gluttonous quarters should do.
Alter.
Ich höre ihm was.
Ja, das ist da unten. Das ist diese verschlüsselte... Wo du sie mit 6 EP aufmachen musst.
Ja.
Willst du das wirklich machen? Dann halt schon, ja.
Medaillon.
Wer, das hat sich nichts gebracht.
Schutz.
Medaillon hier ganz unten.
Hä? Maximal DP stecken.
Ja, aber gehen wir runter, das ist der Medaillonhänger. DP-Wetten ist 66.
Ja, geleck.
Flinkschläger. Ist auf jeden Fall, bist wahrscheinlich auf jeden Fall schneller, aber du hast kein Leben mehr.
Ja. Rauszoomen.
Ja, scheiß Jugendschutz und so.
Ja, du bist Verteidiger. Achso, eigene Handlung angehen. 4000, 3000, 2000. Soll ich mir die... Warte. Nein, das war nicht da.
Passt doch eigentlich, oder?
Also meine TP 10%, na das passt eigentlich. Ja. Wir brauchen nicht nichts machen.
So, wir haben jetzt irgendwie noch 6,5 Stunden Zeit, bis wir zu diesen Typen darunter müssen. Suchen wir uns noch ein paar Sidequests.
We get our seafood. A chef is even.
That was useful information, but you see.
Step right. Our meat is shipped directly from the wildlands. We use only natural. Grilling and roasting are the best. The key is knowing how to see, and we do that better than.
Yay.
Light, I'm glad you're enjoying all the food, but I hope all these rich meals.
Den feuchten Interesse.
Welcome. From the elegant simplicity of straight spirits on the rocks to complex and fruity concoctions with cocktails can be served, chilled, or warm. Everyone has their own preferences. We encourage customers.
You're gonna be a real food company.
And how might I?
Ne, der nicht. Obwohl doch, ja, der ist sehr wichtig. Auf einmal ist er wichtig geworden. Auf einmal ist er sehr wichtig geworden.
Ja, ich weiß, was ich tue.
Nein, weißt du nicht.
Okay, 1, 2. Ah, da hinten. Wieso hat man denn?
Kürbis!
Even kids who hate greens love my veggie dish. Vitamins in vegetables are determined by their color. You want
Klar, weil sie dich verarschen können und mit irgendwas bewerfen, ohne dass du es siehst.
Ja.
Nee?
Achso, ja.
Du bist schon richtig da. Ne, da drüben sind die anderen zwei. 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, ja.
Ja, 4, 5, 6. Ja, das Straßencafé.
Welcome. Our customers come here to put down their shopping bags and rest their weary feet. We put a lot of love into our cakes, and that's what makes them so good.
Almost there, Light. You have one more restaurant left to visit.
Der ist wahrscheinlich oben.
Ja. Bestimmt der Bankettmeister.
Hello, welcome.
Business is good.
It is, thank you. Word of our shop's special flavor has this city is known for its gourmet restaurants, but none can hold it.
Back to the city, huh? Likely mentioned, isn't it?
Ma'am, is there something?
I hope so. I'm looking for someone by the name of Filiana. According to her fiance, does this ring look familiar?
Oh, yes, yes, of course. I recognize that. The woman was a wonderful cook indeed. Though the strange thing is, I never knew her by the name of Filiana.
She may have assumed another name. Was the woman you knew beautiful enough to turn the head of every man in the room?
Now, this is taking quite an odd turn. She was no doubt a very handsome woman, but very advanced in age. I suppose she must have been beautiful enough to turn heads once, but she was undeniably an old woman. Of course, we are all old now, but we don't age, but she must have been quite elderly already when time stopped for all of us.
An old woman. I suppose that can't be Lackley's lost fiancée, but where is she now?
I'm afraid I don't know. The lady in question fell ill and left our restaurant. I believe she moved to Luxury to live with the support of an old friend there.
No, okay.
Do you know how to reach her? Or that friend of hers?
Unfortunately, I don't know that woman's name or anything else about her. I saw her only once. She was a young woman, and if I recall correctly, wearing a rather unusual hat. Perhaps she was her daughter.
I see. Thanks for your time. You've been a great help. Lackley's ring ended up on the finger of a beautiful but old woman somehow. It's possible Filiana sold the ring. I'm not looking forward to telling Lackley about it, but he deserves the truth. He needs to know.
Everyone who signed up for the tour to see the show is meeting up at 6 p.m.
Visit the restaurants of the...
Einen brauchst du noch.
Ah.
Das ist anscheinend nicht das hier.
Hm, sonst? Ja, da hinten.
Nee, das ist aber bestimmt nicht mehr. Das ist kein Restaurant. Nicht mehr am Schlemmerviertel. Ich geh nochmal zum Schlemmerviertel durch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Da muss noch irgendwo was sein.
Hier gibt's auch nichts mehr, außer die hier hinten.
Ja, das zählt aber nicht, es muss im Schlemmerviertel sein, ne? Vielleicht ist da unten ein Eingang irgendwo unten rein. Der Ausstatter wird nichts zum Essen haben. Ja, auch nicht.
Ja, wer weiß, vielleicht. Ja, aber den letzten dieselben Typen gab.
Da muss irgendwo jemand sein, der für was anderes will da oben. Aber hier haben wir ja nichts übersehen.
Gordon Gourmet.
Nur sein Übriges. Okay, 1, 2. Wo ist denn hier?
Ja,
vielleicht mal.
den haben wir ja schon. Irgendwas haben wir vergessen. Gemüse, Fisch, Fleisch, Cocktails, Kuchen. Geh noch mal hoch.
Ach, das.
Du. Haben wir sogar einmal.
Ja.
Haben wir auch sogar schon. Das ist jetzt geil. Das haben wir auch schon.
Ja, auch gut.
Nein, und 2 noch nicht, ja.
Okay, Anubis.
Ja, noch die 2 Anubis töten.
Desdemona, was ist denn das? Ätherspulen.
Ja. Ich glaube, wir haben gerade 3 oder 4 Quests hintereinander einfach so nebenbei abgeschlossen. Okay, geh nochmal hoch zu den Typen. Da oben muss irgendwo was sein. Vielleicht ist der Barkeeper hier nur am Abend da.
The best way to learn about fine food.
Ja.
Vielleicht ist der Typ hier nur am Abend da.
Paketmeister.
Welcome.
Ja.
Ah, du.
When offering a complete dining experience to discerning people, one must... I am constantly assessing that our customers want more.
Ah, bist du Schwarzen?
Ernsthaft, ey.
I did what you suggested. I visited the top restaurant.
That is excellent news. So now, if CD's restaurant wants to turn its business around... wait, let me ask you something first. You've eaten at CD's and at the best establishments in Houston. Why don't you tell me what you think is the main difference between the two? I'd be interested to hear your opinion, in your own words, of course.
Why? Is this some kind of test?
Yes, exactly. Now tell me, what did all the successful restaurants have in common that poor old CD's lacks?
Let me see. Everyone I spoke to was helpful. They seemed honest and open. I don't think they were lying to me, but something seemed off.
Oh, would you care to elaborate?
Well, it almost felt like they were hiding something from the customers. But it wasn't as if they were deliberately lying or trying to deceive anyone. In fact, I don't think they realized it themselves. They thought they were telling me everything they knew. Yes, that's it. It was unconscious, like an instinct. They were hiding something, but they weren't doing it deliberately at all. I'd say the very best chefs, restaurant managers, and bartenders all share some kind of secret. It's like a special ingredient that makes their food stand out from the others.
What a wonderful deduction. You have hit the nail on the head. To think we discovered this answer only after visiting a few establishments. It is as you say, the best, most successful restaurants have a certain je ne sais quoi, a secret something that makes their offerings unique. And finding that something, that is what I do best. In other words, if the restaurant does not already have a special something, then I simply cannot help it.
Then what about CD's? Do you think you can help him?
I can tell you this, the chef there already knows his secret. The talent is there to make that restaurant a success. Unfortunately for him, the secret spice that gives his dishes flair is extremely rare. He cannot secure supplies, and that is why he struggles. Let me be specific. Once upon a time, CD's recipes all featured the spice commonly known as civet musk. But then supplies dried up and the restaurant fell into a long decline.
You seem to know a lot about CD's.
Well, a long time ago, let's just say we have a close history and leave it at that.
Sein Sohn.
All I need to know is that if I can find this spice, the restaurant should start bringing in customers.
Yes, exactly. The problem is the spice is not easy to find. In fact, the only way to acquire it would be to defeat certain monsters. Such a shame. All for want of a single spice, his restaurant is failing. He has the recipe for success. He just needs the final ingredient.
Das haben wir schon.
Felix.
Die Katze da.
Ja. Dann haben wir das schon.
I recognize that fragrance anywhere. You found civet musk. Thank you indeed. It's very kind what you're doing. CD's is lucky to have you on its side.
Why are you thanking me? If anyone should be grateful, it's me, and the owner of CD's, for all of your helpful advice.
Oh, quite so. When you put it that way, of course you're right. I just get caught up in a project and start thinking...
Ja, klar, red dich nur weiter raus.
Back to business.
Ernsthaft.
I developed this new and original recipe. I want you to take it back to CD's together with the civet musk you acquired. The owner will be waiting anxiously for you.
So, you still don't want to meet him yourself?
I'm afraid that won't happen. Not ever again. However, that doesn't stop me from wishing him and CD's the very best. Please tell him that whatever happens, I'll be praying for his success.
Lightning, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Do you remember what the owner of CD's told us when we met?
You mean the story about his son that ran away from home when the restaurant started struggling? Great minds hope. We've both been thinking that maybe this son of his went on to become a famous food expert.
And that's why Gordon won't meet CD's owner. But he still clearly wants to help out. Let's take the civet musk and recipe.
Gordon Gourmet created a new recipe for you. You should make it with this civet musk. Do that and you'll be able to save your restaurant.
Why, thank you! This is wonderful! How can I ever repay you? This is incredible! Everything is here in black and white! A groundbreaking dish! I'd never have thought to do half the things in this recipe. The genius of Gordon Gourmet oozes from...
Notice anything else?
About the recipe? No, not particularly. It's well organized, written in a clear hand. Wait, this handwriting, it looks strangely familiar. Yes, I've seen it before. These
Ach nein, oh Gott.
Schon mal drauf gekommen,
Turns out Gordon Gourmet has a secret identity. He's your long-lost son.
He is? And you're sure it was him who created this wonderful recipe? But more importantly, he's in this town. Is he happy?
You have nothing to worry about. He's doing great. Except, I'm really sorry, but I don't think he wants to see you again. I can't tell you where he is.
But why? Yes, we quarreled when he left, but that was a long time ago. Is he still angry at me?
Do you have a message for him? I can make sure he gets it.
Well, how about this? I'm gonna make his dish, just like the recipe lays out. Would you be so good as to deliver it to him? At the very least, I want him to try it. Truth be told, what I really want to tell him is to come back to CDs and work with me. Perhaps if he knew that I still haven't lost my touch. Would that be enough to entice him back? I don't know.
I don't think words alone will do it, but if he tries your dish and likes it, that might be enough for him.
Okay, wir geben das Gericht ab bei unserem Freund Gordon Gourmet. Und dann machen wir wieder mal einen Cut.
Alright, I'm feeling hungry anyway.
Sie hat Hunger. Also ich glaube jetzt zum ersten Mal in Final Fantasy.
Ja, ich höre das erste Mal in einem Videospiel, dass jemand Hunger hat. Okay, GTA zählt nicht.
Ja.
This might be the most delicious thing I've ever had in my entire life. Really, it's incredible.
Why, thank you. Although all the credit must go to my son, it was his doing. Here, I've made enough for one more. I've asked you for many favors, but would you do this last thing for me?
Sure, I'll take it to Gordon Gourmet.
Steak à la Tibet.
Habe ich jetzt auch nichts dagegen. Ich werde so langsam müde.
Oh, do I smell what I think I smell? I do, don't I? That must be my recipe.
Yes, the owner at CD's insisted that I bring you a portion so you could taste it for yourself.
I see. Well, then... Oh, yes. A perfect balance of fuzzy mutton and civet musk. The palate sings. It's a microcosm of culinary delight. A theme park of olfactory and gustatory
Ja, da komm.
And if you think that's hyperbole, I've only just begun. This is even better than I imagined. I always knew he was a skilled chef, but this...
Die da hinten machen die Augen.
Help him out again in the kitchen.
Go back? What do you mean? I never... Oh, all right. The cat's out of the bag. You've somehow figured it out. What my true identity is. Yes, I admit it. I am indeed the son of the owner of CD's restaurant. It was a long time ago, but one day we quarreled, and I left the shop vowing never to return. We fought over cooking, you see. But even after I left, I vowed that one day I would rebuild the restaurant. That's what started me on my journey to becoming Gordon Gourmet. Since then, I devoted every waking hour to learning about the culinary arts.
Du bist zum schwulen Sack geworden.
I realized what CD's restaurant needed to regain its former glory.
You had a falling out because of the menu? But when your father saw your recipe, he was thrilled. All he could talk about was how he dreamed of you coming back. So the two of you could run the restaurant together, just like old times.
So he recognizes my ability. Oh, but it's too late. I can't go back now. The fact is, I abandoned him in the restaurant when times were tough. I'm ashamed of what I did. I can't face him again.
You mustn't feel that way, my son.
Father, how did you find me?
My apologies to the young lady, but I wanted to see you. I followed her after she left the shop. What do you say? Let's start over. You set out on your own, did things your own way, stayed true to yourself, working hard to achieve your dreams.
Diese Selbstmitleidsnummern können dann auch irgendwann direkt in die Nerven gehen. Ey, da wächst die Müdigkeit ja gleich nochmal um 10% bei dem, was der da rumsülzt.
Such a dish. Indeed, if you had given it to me back then, I doubt I would have recognized its greatness. But worse, I wouldn't have believed you could be capable of such a thing. I always underestimated you, my son. For that, you
Aber die Quest war irgendwie nicht so nebenquestlich irgendwie.
Nein, die hatte eher schon fast nur von einer Hauptquest.
Ja.
Looks like you two have made up.
Yes. Now let's get to it, shall we? Together. We'll make Caesar a success again.
Kochmütze, Gelek.
Wow.
Das weiß ich nicht.
That went well. A microcosm of culinary delight, did he say?
Ein Mikrokosmos und Gericht.
So. Wir hoffen, es hat euch so viel Spaß gemacht für uns. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Wenn es euch gefallen hat, lasst ein Like da. Und ein Abo. Würden uns natürlich noch mehr freuen. Singen wir nochmal.
Miau, miau.
Miau, miau, ciao, ciao.